Hello, my spooky friends.
My name is Cassie,
And I'm Caitlin.
and welcome in to I'd Survive.
Hi, Cassie. How you been?
Oh, lots of...
You never sound happy when I ask you how you are. Every single time it's, oh, well,
No,
you know.
it's bad. My brain does not let me be happy for a second because I'm always thinking a month ahead. Like, for some reason, there's always some reason that my brain is like, well, right now I guess I'm good, but also I'm stressed because I need to do this and I need to do this and I need to do
You know,
this.
I could pretend that I don't know what you're talking about, except we just spent an hour and 45 minutes talking before we actually hit record because there was so much to talk about.
Yeah.
Because we have so much stuff coming up, both of us. Cassie more so, but...
It's going to be, I mean, I am dealing a lot with, like, I'm going to be finishing Buffy the Vampire Slayer this week. And, well, I'm going to be finishing it on my Patreon. Like, I'm going to be finishing filming my reactions. And then I have 3.5 or so weeks before that journey is going to end on YouTube. And I'm doing, like, this whole, it's not like a dramatic, like, brand change or anything, but it's a lot that I'm like adding to my plate and a lot of change. And I'm like finally going to be officially taking advantage of the fact that I do all of this full time. Yeah. And I'm just deciding to fill every second of my day now because of that and figuring out how I can do that without wanting to die.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, Caitlin was like my manager for the last hour and 45 minutes, like making sure everything that I think I'm going to go for, she's like, okay, yes, that will work. And
yeah, I shut down all of her ideas, guys. They were just all
actually
terrible.
Starting next month, like I'm deleting the YouTube channel. Like Caitlin said, it's just not worth it anymore.
It's not working out for her, guys.
Yeah, no, it's good. October is going to be a crazy month for both of us, as it should be. Like, best month.
True. Best month. Honestly, though, like, we are in the heart of spooky season, or like heading into it at least. And I wish I could sit here and be like, I did all of this fun spooky stuff. No, I just been busy. Like, I just went to a college football game over the weekend. I mean, like, that was fun. That's like classic fall vibes.
Yeah.
Not necessarily classic spooky vibes. And I haven't watched any horror outside of what I
for today.
What I did for today. Yeah. Have you been watching?
I did watch a horror movie actually yesterday with my sister.
Okay.
And it's this little movie called Until Dawn.
Yay! Yeah. Wait, oh my god, that is so fun.
It was fun.
It is fun. It's like kind of just a cutesy, fun, does what it's there to do kind of movie.
Yeah.
It's nothing special except for if you like the game, you're going to have a lot of fun moments.
Yeah. What's interesting is my sister doesn't know anything about the game.
Right.
And she had a really good time with the movie. So I was like, okay, that's good. That's cool. Like, I don't think you need to know the game to enjoy the movie. There's like little moments that I pointed out to her where I was like, oh, that's like a shout out to the game right there. And now she wants to play the game, actually. So
ooh, that's actually, oh my God, to watch the movie and then play the game.
Right?
Oh, that's nice.
It's interesting.
Because that's you're going to be pleasantly surprised if you're going in the opposite direction.
Hold on, I need to like breathe. Hold on, I need to do a deep breath. I don't know why.
Okay. Deep breath, little meditation.
I'm not joking. We talked about way too much. I didn't breathe the last hour and 45 minutes.
It's actually true. Dude, we like sat down and we were like, okay, wait, time to record. Do you have any energy left? Maybe.
Yeah. Okay, I'm ready.
Ready?
I'm doing jumping jacks. I'm back.
You just clapped your hands in the air, like 3 times. Those are Cassie's jumping jacks.
That's a jumping jack.
It works.
I'm a true gamer here. I'll sit in the chair and call anything like working out. Yeah.
Oh my god, so real. Love that for us. Well, today we are watching. Oh my god, I'm not doing that again. We are not watching a movie, guys. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Today we are talking about a movie called Trick or Treat, which is considered to be a Halloween cult classic sort of vibe. This is a movie that I've heard about for a long time. The character / vibe of like the movie is something you see a lot of, like Trick or Treat at Spirit Halloween when you go shopping. Do you know who Sam is? Are you aware of Sam? He's like the mascot of the film.
No, not by name.
Not.
All I know about this is like the cover.
Okay, I I think he might not be on the cover. I don't know. We'll talk about him a little bit before we get into it, because he's like the icon of the film. This is actually a movie when I was like looking up, Halloween specific horror. This is one that a lot of people say that they watch every year. Like I would say a lot of us watch Scream every year. Trick or Treat is that movie for a lot of people. The interesting thing about this one is this movie was written and directed by Michael Dougherty. I never know how to pronounce this last name, but I think you know what I'm saying.
Yep.
And the cool thing about it is he created the mascot of Trick or Treat, Sam, back in 1996 in an animated short called Season's Greetings. And that is when Sam first appeared. And then he brought Sam to life on film in 2007.
Was it like an adult animated short, or was it like wholesome cartoon vibes?
It was not wholesome cartoon vibes. It's cute. I actually adored the short. I did find it and I did watch it. I love it so much. I wouldn't say it's for children, but it's not like R-rated or anything.
Right. Interesting. Okay.
So if you didn't know about Season's Greetings, I found it on Reddit. Everybody, if you want to look it up, it's like a 2.5 minute little thing. It's fun. It's cute. And this movie, it was mostly screened at festivals before a very limited theater release, because I can tell you that it grossed $27,000 in theaters.
Whoa.
So yeah, when I say limited, I mean limited, because for the most part it went from festival to DVD.
Right.
That's pretty much the way that it worked. And it's considered a cult classic these days and a must-watch film for a lot of people every spooky season.
I don't know why I haven't watched it yet. Like, this is just up my alley.
I know. It's interesting because it's a movie that just comes up all the time. Every Halloween season, I see people be like, oh my God, you got to watch Trick or Treat. And it's just, I kept pushing it off.
Yeah.
And the one last thing I do want to say before we jump into it is when I was looking at this movie, it is actually considered an anthology film. Would I say it's anthology in the traditional sense? No. But regardless, it is going to be a little bit of a different kind of episode. And I just want to say, like, just have fun with it. And if you get a little bit lost, anybody, don't panic. There's a lot going on in this movie, but it's just kind of fun Halloween vibes. So let's get into it.
I do fear I'm gonna panic, but that's okay.
Don't make panic, it fun, girly. Yeah, we'll make it fun. It'll be fine. So the film opens with some very old-timey music and a small old black and white TV screen saying WB Educational Films, so Warner Brothers, before the screen changes to Trick or Treat Safety.
Oh.
A classic old narration voice comes in saying, during the spookiest time of the year, there are a few guidelines all ghosts and ghouls should follow. We're seeing kids in their Halloween costumes out trick-or-treating, and the narrator is now going to share the Halloween rules with us.
I love a set of rules.
Don't we all? You love Scream, you love a set of rules.
Exactly.
Always stay on sidewalks. Never go to a stranger's house. Never go out alone. His final alone stutters and glitches while some scary images flash on the screen before landing on a lit-up jack-o'-lantern. A long exhale drags out as we zoom back from the jack-o'-lantern, which we can now see is on the sidewalk in front of a white picket fence. And as we zoom out, the cool thing is we kind of fade from a faded out image to a more saturated image, and our aspect ratio transitions to widescreen. So it goes from like that small old screen to like a modern day widescreen image, which is not something I see a ton. Obviously, we know Hunger Games, Sinners, like there are those moments that do it really well, and this one's just kind of cute and fun.
Yeah.
So the fall vibes are vibing. The ground is covered in fallen autumn leaves. There are Halloween decorations. A girl dressed as a witch walks by with a jack-o'-lantern and a wagon. She almost gets hit by a car, but you know, I guess that's fine or whatever.
You just have to follow the rules, stay on the sidewalks. Like, this is why the rules are in place. Yeah.
You already are getting it.
I survive.
You survive. Now we zoom all the way out to reveal the house in which the jack-o'-lantern sits in front of. It's an absolutely decked out, like Halloween decorated house. The entire front yard's covered in decor. Their main attraction is like these sheet ghost scarecrow type things that they're kind of placed all over the yard. Now a couple comes walking down the sidewalk, and the woman, Emma, she's dressed as a robot, while her husband, Henry, is dressed as some kind of spaceman. I couldn't tell you exactly what he is. I even tried to look it up and they said space cowboy, and I was like, I don't know if that's right, but you know, whatever you want to go with works.
Yeah.
Emma goes, "This is a great idea, honey. Really, it's just magical. Makes me wish every night was Halloween." And at first I'm like, I mean, mood. Yeah, like
Yes.
I agree. But then Henry cuts in to apologize. He's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." Like, what? Emma stops in front of their home. It is the decorated home with the jack-o'-lantern, and she goes to pick up the pumpkin from the ground. Henry's like, "No, no, no, not yet." And we take the point of view of a masked figure across the street.
Oh.
We're like looking through like a very thin fabric,
Mm-hmm.
and the breathing of this figure is quite heavy. Henry tells Emma that the pumpkin is supposed to stay lit. It's ancient tradition.
Mm.
Emma does not care. "Honey, I'm lit, you're lit, but our little friend here, his night's over." I was like, that's a wild line, but you do.
I enjoy
it. She bends down, blows out the candle within the jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, no.
From our point of view across the street, the blowing out of the candle causes a little bit of a gasp and some more heavy breathing. Henry goes, "You should be more careful. There are rules. You might upset someone." The way he says "there are rules" is like so, it like scratches my brain in a way where it sounds just like Randy. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, I love that.
It's like, yes, there are rules. But Emma isn't buying it. And the couple walk up the path toward the front door, followed now by the masked figure whose existence we still only know via their point of view.
Yeah.
On the doorstep, Emma leans over to take off her robot boot, and we get a nice shot of her ass in sweatpants. And
okay.
Yep. Per usual.
Amazing.
And Henry stares down at it and gives her a look, and he says, "Inside, upstairs." Like, he wants to get freaky, like right now.
Okay.
No, exactly. No, but Henry's like kind of weird too, so like it doesn't help.
Oh, that's so funny. It's giving like romance books trying to be hot.
Yeah.
Inside, upstairs. Like,
yeah.
Oh, okay, we're here now. Like, you think you're that guy. Is he that guy? No, I'm going to take that as a no. So sorry to you, Henry.
Girl, it doesn't even get better. So,
oh no.
Henry's frustrating me, but Emma is frustrating me more for other reasons. Because Emma, she just wants to take all the Halloween decorations down before they go to bed.
What?
And she refers to the decorations as crap.
What? Is she not the one who just said she wishes it was Halloween like every day?
That line confuses me because I think she's being sarcastic. Because at first I was like, oh yeah, me too, girly. But then when Henry's like, oh, sorry, they never really go back to that. But it sounds like she was being sarcastic.
Got it. Because then she blows out the candle. Now she's like, all right, let's get that's crazy. Like, not just because you're a Halloween hater, clearly, but also because, like, aren't you tired? Like, just do it the next day.
Literally, who takes their decorations down Halloween
the same night? That's so odd.
Who does that? So Henry insists, he's like, I'll take care of it in the morning. But Emma doesn't believe him. You're going to sleep till noon, and then you're going to play video games until 4. And besides, my mom is coming in the morning, and she'll have an aneurysm if she sees this place. She is party pooper central. No video games, no fun. I mean, sleeping till noon and then playing video games. Like, okay, I can understand why that might be frustrating for her, but at the same time, like, mood.
Yeah, right. So we can't talk about that.
We can't talk as streamers. So Emma's like, I'm just going to take care of it. But she does give in a little bit here. She goes, go inside, put on the tape. And I'm like, oh.
Am I supposed to assume, what is she talking about?
She wants to get freaky. I guess they have a tape.
They put on a tape that they need to watch while they do that? Okay. Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, at least it's showing that, like, they do kind of like each other, I guess. Because up until this point, it's like, do we just hate each other right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So from the masked POV, we see that Henry is delighted and gives Emma a creepy ass smile, and she just rolls her eyes back at him. Like, she's like into it, but also like he's so just like annoying.
Yeah.
Henry agrees to go inside, and Emma turns, taking a look at the decorated front yard, and she like lets out a sigh along with, I hate Halloween. Upstairs, Henry is getting ready to get his freak on. He pulls out a VHS tape labeled Nature Special and pops it in the bedroom VCR player. Emma unplugs the orange lights outside, and the front yard goes dark, losing all of the joy of Halloween. She drags a box out and begins to pull down fake limbs that are hanging from the trees, along with the sheets off of like the scarecrow ghost frames. Some trick-or-treaters run by laughing, and Emma actually turns and smiles at them. It seems genuine, which surprises me since I assume she hated all things fun a second ago, but she kind of like admires the kids like, oh, and I'm like, girl, like make up your mind. I don't understand you. But then her eyes drift across the street and they fall upon a figure dressed all in black wearing a white mask who is staring directly at her. She stares back as she rips another sheet ghost down, and the two of them stare at each other for some time before a car pulls up to the figure honking and the teen removes his mask and jumps in the car with his friends. False alarm, probably just a pervy boy, which is like not what we want, but he's not stalking us to kill us, which is like a good sign, I guess.
Right.
So Emma, she shakes her head and laughs with a happy Halloween as she continues to take down the decor. She goes to throw a sheet into the box, and we get hella jump scared by what seems like a gust of wind shooting up out of like the box, but we don't quite see what it is.
Oh.
Because she screams, and we cut to Henry, who is laying on the bed upstairs. He jolts up at the sound of Emma's scream, but then like he like looks around the room and then seems to think that the scream must have just come from the tape on the TV where some screams are occurring, just different kinds of screams.
Okay.
So
they aren't getting off to like animals or anything?
No, I think it's just their way of disguising.
Like being discreet.
Yeah.
Okay, I was worried for a second, but that's good to know.
No, they're not animals. Oh wow, I'm so glad that's not happening.
Clarifying that, yeah.
But he just smiles. He looks at the TV and he smiles, and we do get to see a little bit of this tape, which I like didn't need, but we do. And he just is like, oh, that's great. Lays back down, doesn't do shit here. So
well, R.I.P. Emma.
Well, not quite actually. She is currently in the fight of her life outside with something, and she's under the sheet, like the white sheet, screaming and thrashing at something that we can't see. And then a lollipop with a big old bite out of it, it's like a big orange lollipop with a big bite, is raised up in the air by our assailant, and it comes down onto Emma, and the sheet is splattered with red. 3 kids walking by in clown costumes just stare and then run away.
Well, yeah.
I don't blame them for that.
Yeah.
Emma is then dragged by this figure, still under the sheet, toward the front door. By the amount of blood soaking through the sheet and the lack of movement on her end, we can assume that she is no longer with us.
Death by lollipop is crazy.
Yeah. Getting stabbed by a lollipop that's kind of sharp because someone bit into it is crazy. Is really crazy.
I'm like now wondering like how sharp that would have to be to really happen. I wonder if that's possible.
It's kind of scary to think about.
Do you want to,
should we, what, Cassie, what? Should we test it out? What were you going to say there?
That is what I was going to say.
Okay, no, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
I don't want you to stab me with the lollipop.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine.
She is so disappointed.
TwitchCon is going to be like less exciting this year, but it's fine.
Oh, okay. You just like us in an alleyway. Like, okay, let's test out the lollipop. Let's see if it works.
Oh, that's so funny. It can't be possible. I'm really stuck on this because like I want it to be real.
Why? I will say it's like an oversized, thick ass lollipop.
Yeah.
But also, I'm not gonna like pretend it's realistic either because this is not a realistic film. But
exactly, I love a silly death.
Oh yes, we do. So the screen fades to black, but immediately fades back up on Henry asleep in his bed, still in his costume. The tape is ended, and the TV has gone to static at this point. And he reaches over to Emma's side of the bed, and when he doesn't feel her there beside him, he decides, maybe he should go and see what's going on outside.
Yeah, maybe.
It's the middle of the night at this point, as the environment is dead quiet. And he walks around the front yard calling for Emma. And some of the limbs hanging from the tree, covered in blood, catches attention.
Oh my god.
But just for a moment, because he's quickly distracted by one of the sheet ghosts behind him, lighting up in orange lights. He turns and slowly approaches the singular lit up ghost, and cautiously he pulls the sheet from the post to reveal his wife's head, a lollipop shoved in her mouth, speared at the top of the pole, wrapped in orange string lights. Henry screams, understandably, as we see more shots of her limbs dripping in blood before we fade to black for the title sequence.
Okay.
So that's our opening with poor old Emma.
That's really fun. That's really fun. I don't know why. I love the Death by Lollipop. It's just like I've never heard of something like that. It makes me want to. It seems in a weird way as well. I don't know if this is odd for me to say. This opening scene feels cozy.
It is, and
Yeah.
it's the funny thing is like it's kind of horrific because it's gross and
Yeah.
sure, but the fall, autumn, spooky Halloween vibes are
Yeah.
so good. It's like Halloween Town, but make it actually fucked up,
Yes, that's the vibe. That's the vibe.
And it's great.
Oh God, I have no idea what's gonna happen next though, because
You don't.
Anthology film that's not an anthology film. What is gonna happen?
Exactly.
Okay.
So this title sequence, it features some comic strips showing us some of what is yet to come in the film. And I'm not going to describe it in detail because it happens like quick enough where you're not supposed to catch every detail.
Okay.
But I will say that it is probably one of my favorite title sequences that I've ever seen because the music is like super like creepy Halloween fun kind of vibes. It's like the voices of kids being like, like that kind of fun sort of thing. And then just having all of these little flashes of comic strips. Like one of the illustrations has 4 tales of terror inscribed on it, which of course kind of lends itself to that anthology ideology that some people attribute to this film. And the film, I guess, itself also does, but it's just different than what I'm used to. The Trick or Treat title card leads us to an illustration of Sam. And you said off the top of your head, you don't know Sam, right?
No, I mean, is he the masked? Is he? It's like there's a brown bag on his head. Yeah, I know the image. I just didn't know his name was Sam. What a lovely name.
Yeah. He's just a little guy. He's wearing orange footy pajamas with a burlap sack over his head, 2 large black circles for eyes, and a very like subtle stitch on smile.
Okay.
So he's honestly like very cute.
Very cute.
He's a cute little guy.
You know what? Who I'm thinking of is Lilo's little friend, stuffed animal. You know?
Yeah, kind of.
I feel like they could be like distant cousins.
They probably are. Yeah, I would put money on that.
Yeah.
Coming out of the opening sequence, a kid drags his candy bag, an old pillowcase, along a crowded sidewalk on Halloween night.
I love the pillowcase.
Oh yeah, I definitely did the pillowcase.
That? Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I never had like the cute like plastic. My parents were not going to buy me like a plastic Halloween bucket. It was like grab a pillowcase out of the closet. And I'm like, okay, sure.
It's a vibe though.
We're gonna like stay mostly fixated on the bag itself as it's like being dragged down the sidewalk.
Mm-hmm.
But it's pretty gross because the ground is wet, so the bag is caked in like mud. But the boy pulling it doesn't really seem to care. He's just making his way downtown, walking fast, and he walks by other people out celebrating Halloween. We do like get some pans up to see kids, teens, adults. Wherever this kid is at, it's where I want to be on Halloween. Like this is like such a lively Halloween night town, just decorated and everybody's having a good time. The kid keeps walking down the sidewalk before we get a little comic strip style lower third that says earlier, ...
Okay.
We fade down from the full moon over the center of this small town. It seems to be where this kid was just walking through, and there are orange and white string lights like strung back and forth across the street, like the light poles.
Oh, cool.
Super cute. The street is packed with people young and old in costume, having a good time TM, and we hear a reporter voice come in saying, werewolves, zombies, and demons of every variety have all descended on the normally sleepy town of Warren Valley, Ohio, where the holiday and all of its strange traditions are taken very seriously. We now find ourselves inside a costume shop where a little boy pops out from the center of like a circular clothing rack dressed in either a monkey or a bear onesie. I can't really tell. But did you ever do that as a kid? Like go in the center of those?
Of course.
Clothing? Oh my God, it was so fun. Until your parents or like your mom, dad, whoever was like, where are you? And then they panic because they think you're dead and it's
then
not
you get
great.
yelled at.
Mm-hmm.
Like, worth it.
Universal experience, I think, too.
Yeah.
A very worth it universal experience for all of us. A woman from one of the dressing rooms in this costume shop yells out to a friend, I'm not wearing this. It's too small. My tits keep popping out. And her friend responds saying, well, yeah, that's the idea. Now, that little boy in the onesie, has made his way over to the dressing rooms where he's peeking through the cracks. He is like 5 years
Oh.
old.
Oh.
And I'm just like,
I don't think 5-year-olds really think that way.
I didn't think, no, this kid is definitely too young to be
Yeah.
doing, like, no, well, okay, nobody should be doing this. Like, let me get that clear.
Well, right. Morally,
But-
like, don't be doing that. But, like, you shouldn't even be, like, that 5-year-old should not even know what's happening here.
Exactly.
Oh, boy.
The first friend calls back to her other friend that she doesn't understand why they had to come out to this town when there are plenty of guys in the city. This girl's like, fresh meat. It's what we do every Halloween, Lori. Now, we're going to come to realize through some banter that we are overhearing the conversation of 4 girls in the dressing rooms trying on costumes.
Mhm.
Their names are Lori, Danielle, Maria, and Janet. Lori is clearly younger than the other girls. She's 22,
Okay.
and she is Danielle's younger sister.
Okay.
She seems the least into this whole picking up guys thing and wonders whatever happened to trick-or-treating.
Yeah. Oh my
Right?
God. You're like short and small enough that you could probably like put on like a full costume and go trick or treating.
I probably could get away with it if I wanted to.
I'm gonna buy you 2 costumes. You can do 1 round for yourself, but you got to do 1 round for me.
Okay. I mean, you could just
Perfect.
come. I'm pretty sure we could both
I'll
go.
be the parent. I'll be the mom.
No, we could both go. Nobody would know. It would be great.
Yeah, I wish it was like more like accepted for just adults to go trick or treating.
know.
Like, why can't we?
Why not? It would be so fun. But
Yeah,
whatever. People, adults hate fun. A lot of adults hate fun. So
myself
whatever.
included. So I get it. Like if an adult knocked on my door on Halloween with a bag, what the fuck? Like I'm not answering that.
Oh my God. No. If I open the door and there's an adult there, like with a candy bag out, like I'm giving them candy and immediately shutting the door.
Yeah,
I'm like kind of scared.
Yeah, I'd be scared. I'd just give it all to them, and then I'd shut off the porch light and be like,
Yep.
"Well, that's over now. I hope
And
they
we are
don't
now
come
done.
and kill me."
Mhm.
Oh man.
So this kid is still peering through the cracks in the door when a woman comes by and grabs him, like guessing his mother.
Oh yeah.
But instead of scolding him, she goes, "Ladies, there are children out here." I was like, this is why men are the way that they are, is because they don't take any accountability. She yells at the women for changing in the changing rooms and talking. Like, yes, they're having kind of like a bit of a crazy conversation, but there's like, why don't you tell this child, don't look in the dressing rooms?
Yeah, please. Let's handle that issue first.
That's probably the more important one here, but
oh dear.
So Danielle, Maria, and Janet come out of their dressing rooms dressed as what I think are meant to be slutty princesses. Danielle is Cinderella, Maria is Snow White, and Janet is Bo Peep. So not really princess, but kind of that vibe. And the reason like I say like supposed to be slutty is because I feel like their boobs are out a little bit, but like these are not the slutty costumes of 2025.
Yeah, we've stepped up our game since then.
We have, like, the dresses are still long, like there's not as much skin as you would expect to see in 2025.
Yeah.
So Danielle knocks on Lori's door and tells her to come out, and Lori is just so unamused, but she finally complies. Lori is dressed as a bit of a more modest Little Red Riding Hood, but she's not happy about it. "Danielle, I look like I'm 5, she says. Danielle assures her that she looks great, while the other 2 girls hold back laughter. Like, clearly they're like, they're kind of mean.
Yeah.
Which is unnecessary. And like Danielle is clearly thinking that, but
right. But she's trying to be a nice sister.
Exactly. Danielle goes, "It's tradition," to which Lori replies with, "Well, what does tradition say we do now?" "We meet our dates," says Danielle. The girls make their way to the checkout in their selected costumes, and the guy at the counter scans Danielle's Cinderella dress that she's still wearing and goes, 233 30D? I mean, 234 33? And like he and Danielle both laugh because he's just like looking at her boobs.
Okay.
And it's like, okay, sir.
It's just the funniest thing to me when like grown men act like this in movies as if they've just never seen this before. This is their first time seeing a pair of boobs.
Yeah, he does not know how to like contain himself. Danielle kind of finds it endearing because she goes on to say, "This might be kind of forward, but we're in town for a party tonight, and I was wondering what time you get off work."
Oh my God, they don't have dates yet? They're just going to pick men off the street?
This is what they do. Like, this is their thing, I guess.
Oh my God, this is my worst nightmare.
Literally,
Imagine.
like, red flag number 1.
Yeah.
Don't do this.
No.
Like, just, it's weird
Stranger
behavior.
danger.
Stranger danger. So this man, his eyes go wide. He's like, oh, what? 20 minutes, actually. So Danielle's delighted to hear this, and she tells the guy to meet them at Sheep's Meadow in about 45 minutes. And he's like, okay, sounds good. So we're going to go back now to that kid who was dragging his candy bag earlier. And his name is Charlie.
Wait, is this is not the same, or it is the same kid that was in this store?
Different kid.
Different kid, okay.
Yeah. I'll do my best to, like, let you know because there is some, like, crossover, but I'll always establish it. Yeah. Charlie is probably, like, in middle school, I would say.
Okay.
And we see his face for the first time. He's got some chocolate smeared around his mouth. And he's walking down a desolate street. And as he passes a home with multiple jack-o'-lanterns, like, perched up on a fence, he decides he's just going to knock each of them over as he strolls by.
Well,
because he's a little piece of shit.
Middle school boys, man. Terrifying.
They are. When he gets to the walkway of this home, he notices that there's a bowl of candy on the porch. So he makes his way over to the door.
Oh, it's on the porch. He's going to take it all.
The sign on it says, sorry, we're not at home. Help yourself to 1 piece. And the 1 is underlined and, like, capitalized. But he does not give the vibes of a rule follower, now does he?
No.
And so he starts grabbing out all the candy and putting it into his own bag. A male voice off screen scares him, saying, that can't be good for your diabetes, Charlie.
Oh.
Which is, like, kind of wild, but...
Listen, it's Halloween, okay?
Yeah, really. A man stands on the sidewalk at the end of the path holding a large brown paper bag, and Charlie stumbles over his words as he goes to speak, but then the man tells him not to waste a good lie on this. It's just candy. Why don't you sit down? Stay a minute, he says to Charlie, strolling up the walkway. Charlie starts to make an excuse for why he needs to leave, but the man cuts him off saying, sit down, Charlie.
Ew.
And it is creepy and uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But we're going to leave them, and we're going to go back to our slutty princesses.
Wait, are we supposed to assume, is that, like, the homeowner, or is that, like, just a random person?
It gives the vibe of the guy who owns the house.
Right. Okay. That's kind of what I was getting, but I also could not tell. Okay. Still, obviously, still just as creepy.
Very creepy. The vibes are definitely creepy.
Yeah.
So back to our slutty princesses. Danielle is in the process of giving some advice to her younger sister. Your problem is simple. You always wait for them to come to you. If you just tried a little harder, you wouldn't be a virgin at 22.
Oh my.
Yeah. Here we go with the shaming of the virgins.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's a fun little side detail here. Lori bumps into Emma walking with Henry here.
Oh yeah.
It's just like a quick little moment, but she just like bumps into her, and I didn't even notice until the second watch that like that's who she bumped into. I was like, oh, cool. Okay. So you just like, yeah, we're in the same town, and these people are all very close to each other, literally physically. So Lori's a little offended by what her sister says, understandably.
Yes.
And she says, maybe I'm too old-fashioned, but I've always wanted my first time to be... And Danielle interrupts her with, no, please don't say it. Lori finishes her thought. Special. Maria goes, listen, we've all been there, but you can't hesitate. Watch. So Janet and Maria wander over to a news van where 2 men are putting some cameras and such back into the vehicle. Maria goes, that's some big equipment you got there.
Oh.
That's one hell of a pickup line.
Yeah, bold.
The men look at them a little confused, and they're like, thank you.
Valid response.
Right? Valid response. Maria introduces herself and Janet and then proceeds to explain they have a party to attend tonight, but they don't have any dates. Whatever shall we do? And the guys just like look at each other, and then we go back to Charlie and the strange man on the porch.
Okay.
The man pulls a large knife out of his bag.
Oh,
and
okay, we're here.
And he hands it to Charlie.
Oh.
Here, help yourself. Charlie looks at him uncomfortably. And then the man is like, it's for the pumpkin, not you.
Oh, my brain immediately went to bring her back.
Oh, don't, no.
Like, help yourself.
Why, don't do that. Why would you bring that? Oh, why would you bring that up right now? Oh my God. That's like one of the worst scenes in a movie.
I know.
Ever.
It's going to stick with me forever. It was bad.
If you know, you know.
Yeah.
Glancing down at Charlie's shoes, the man can see that Charlie has been smashing jack-o'-lanterns and stealing candy, he says. It's okay. Believe it or not, when I was a kid, I was just like you. He explains that his dad had to set him straight, showed him that this day and that this night are about respecting the dead. The man's carving a pumpkin that he has in his lap, and he continues, this is the one night that the dead and all sorts of other things roam free and pay us a visit. All these traditions, jack-o'-lanterns, putting on costumes, handing out treats, they were started to protect us. But nowadays, no one really cares. The man sadly and longingly stares out in the distance as he speaks, but suddenly Charlie starts coughing up a storm. His stomach is also making some not-so-great noises.
Oh.
The man asks him if he's okay as Charlie begins fully gagging. Do you need a root beer? He asks with a laugh. Oh, wait. There's another tradition. A very important one. He picks up one of the wrappers from the chocolate Charlie was eating. Always check your candy.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie throws up pure chocolate all over the man's front porch. And I'm not going to go into too much detail, but it's gross and it goes on for quite some time.
Mm-hmm.
Charlie then falls over and passes out like into the man's lap.
Oh, God.
The man snags a lollipop from Charlie's bag and pops it in his own mouth before... No, not another lollipop then. The whole movie is just lollipop death.
I need a movie at this point called, I'm gonna write the lollipop murders. And it's
Oh
gonna
my
be great.
God. Wait, that actually sounds so good. I'm sad. I'm sad. But he pops his lollipop in his mouth and drags Charlie's limp body into the house. And he's struggling with Charlie. He's a big kid. And as he's moving him, Charlie's like still throwing up little bits of chocolate onto this guy. So the man gets Charlie inside into the entryway, but then he's pretty quickly met with banging on the door. We know you're in there. We see you, yell a group of kids on the porch looking for their candy. The man tells them to wait just a minute before he comes back and opens the door. He's covered in blood and chocolate, so the kids scream at the sight of him, and this startles him, and he's like, no, shh, because he's like on edge, right?
Yeah.
But then these kids take off their masks and they start laughing. Great costume, Mr. Wilkins, says the kid dressed as a pirate. He's like, yeah, right, of course. And he grabs the bowl of candy and starts handing out some to the kids. The girl dressed up as an angel speaks up and says, Principal Wilkins, do you think we might be able to have your jack-o'-lantern, please? It's for a scavenger hunt, for UNICEF. Anything for a good cause. Happy Halloween, he replies with an uncomfortable smirk. So the three kids walk away, and it is revealed that there was a fourth kid concealed standing behind them. It's Sam. Principal Wilkins just holds out the candy bowl asking if the kid got one. Sam reaches into the bowl, grabs a candy bar, and just walks down the steps on his way to wherever.
How tall is Sam?
Sam's probably like the height of like a 5-year-old. Sam's tiny.
What?
Yes.
This is not what I envisioned based on
I guess
the
I
cover.
did not say that. Yeah, he's
Oh my
tiny.
God.
He's like a little kid.
Oh my God, that makes me love him even more.
Yes, he's so cute.
That's
like
so funny.
I love him so much. He's adorable.
And it makes kind of like the lollipop murder. I'm assuming he was the lollipop murderer.
Yeah.
Because we had that POV with like his mask.
Yeah,
and stuff.
you could jump to that conclusion. For
yeah.
Sure.
That just like makes it even funnier because it's just like he's just a little guy with a lollipop. Like, okay.
No, he's so great. I love him.
Yes, the puzzle pieces are fitting together. Okay.
So we're going to go back to our girlies again. Janet and Maria are getting drunk in the back of the news van with the big equipment guys, and Danielle stands just outside talking to Lori. Are you sure about this? There's got to be 1 or 2 extra guys there. I could help you. Go, I'll meet you there, Lori replies. Danielle's like, okay, well, call me if you get into trouble. And then she just gets in the van with the guys, Janet and Maria, leaving Lori there on the sidewalk in the crowded center of town.
Oh my God. We're breaking a rule. You can't be alone.
No, true. You cannot be alone. Also, like, leaving your younger sister to, like, pick up a guy. Like, that's crazy to me.
I mean, I'm not even surprised, though, based on how she's been talking to her this whole time.
She kind of doesn't give a shit. Yeah. But I'm also like still appalled at just
Yeah.
all of the decisions that all of them are making right now, quite frankly.
Valid, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know if like this is another like 2007 versus 2025 thing, but like you're not going to catch me doing any of this in 2025. Walking around just being like, hey, yeah, like come in this van with me and let's get drunk. Like,
right.
nope.
No.
Doesn't sound like a good time to me. We're going to leave Lori alone for a bit too, as we head back to Principal Wilkins' house. There is, as you can see, this is kind of what I meant when I said it's a little bit of a different episode. We are jumping around. So we get a shot of Principal Wilkins' kitchen. There is candy, bottles, and different devices scattered along the countertop. One of the bottles reads potassium cyanide and another one arsenic.
Oh.
So yes, of course, he's over here poisoning the candy. Principal Wilkins walks in through the kitchen to a closet door where he takes out some sort of blanket or cloth and a cleaver. Next thing we know, he's dragging a body wrapped in cloth out to the backyard. He drags the body up next to a green tarp on the ground, which he removes to reveal a pre-dug grave with a few bodies already inside.
Oh my god, are they all kids?
You can't tell, but I would
Probably.
assume so.
Yeah. Oh.
Happy Halloween, he mutters to himself as he begins to move what we can only assume is Charlie's body into the grave.
Right.
Daddy! Comes the voice of a small boy off screen. Mr. Wilkins' eyes go wide as he turns to see his son Billy calling out from a second-story window of the house. I'm back from trick-or-treating, he shouts.
It's insane to me every time when a psychopath has like a loving family and kids.
Yeah.
What?
Like, how do you do that to kids having a kid?
Yeah, how do you compartmentalize your brain to be like one version versus the other? It's because you have to, right? You can't be both at the same time. It's got to be some sort of thing in your brain where you're like, I'm this person now, and then I'm this person now.
Yep.
Crazy.
It's insane. Mr. Wilkins shushes Billy, begging him to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Billy screams back. We know why, but Mr. Wilkins just tells him that he doesn't want Billy bothering the neighbors. Go watch Charlie Brown and I'll be in a minute, he sort of yell whispers to Billy from the yard. Charlie Brown's an asshole, Billy yells back. Mr. Wilkins scolds him for his language before Billy turns back and goes into the house.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Mr. Wilkins can get back to the damn body. With quite a lot of exerted effort, he finally manages to roll Charlie into the grave, and he picks up a shovel and starts throwing dirt back into the hole when a dog begins growling at him from under the fence next door. Again, Mr. Wilkins is going into shush panic mode, telling the dog to keep quiet, but it's a dog, so the dog just keeps growling. So Mr. Wilkins jumps into the grave, raises the shovel above his head, and brings it down hard. We don't see what he does, but it sounds both slicey and squishy. He reaches into the grave and pulls out a severed finger. He waves the finger at the dog with a, yeah, before throwing it over the fence.
What, is he stupid? What is he even trying to do here?
I guess distract the dog from barking by giving it a piece of the body.
You know what would happen is my dog Karma would bring me a human finger and I would be calling the police. Like, you're so dumb. Why are you giving away evidence?
Yes, it's a wild decision, but he's quite happy with it because the dog like goes and runs over to get the finger. But Mr. Wilkins simply cannot catch a break because it's at this moment the owner of the dog comes outside calling for spite. It's clear Mr. Wilkins does not want to be seen by this other man because he jumps into the grave and just hides in there.
Ooh.
Spite, get your ass in here, calls the man from the next house over. Are you finished crapping or what? Mr. Wilkins stays crouched in the grave when suddenly one of the bodies in there with him lets out a scream. Sounds like the scream of a girl.
Oh.
Doesn't sound like Charlie. Mr. Wilkins jumps back in fear when we hear the voice of the other man go, "Who the hell is that?" Mr. Wilkins quickly stomps on the body to try and shut it up.
Oh my god.
I've got an NRA membership in my pocket and a shotgun over the fireplace, yells the man from next door. It's me, Mr. Krieg, calls Mr. Wilkins from within the grave. Stephen Wilkins. Mr. Krieg peers through a hole in the fence and sees Stephen down in the hole. What in God's name are you doing down there, Wilkins? Hiding bodies? One of the bodies in the hole. It's actually a fun line.
Because I would say that. Like, if we were neighbors, that would be my line.
You hiding bodies in there? One of the bodies in the hole groans, and Wilkins like stomps on it again. He's just trying to keep these bodies quiet. Septic tank's acting up, he tells Mr. Krieg. Is that what that smell is? Fix it. Smells like a dead whore out here.
Oh.
He's a pleasant, he's a pleasant man.
Yeah.
I'm trying, Mr. Wilkins says back, giving a few more swift kicks to the writhing bodies in the grave.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Krieg makes his way back to his home, and Mr. Wilkins yells out a nice old Happy Halloween to Mr. Krieg, who just yells back, Screw you, before slamming the door.
All right.
Yeah, like just friendly neighbor things.
Yeah.
Mr. Wilkins is still trying to get this child, or two, it's hard to tell, just trying to get him to shut up. An arm in what appears to be a clown outfit pops out from within the cloth and tries to grab at him. Stephen raises the shovel to bring it down on the kid when Billy interrupts again.
Oh.
Daddy, I want to carve the jack-o'-lantern now, but I need your help with the eyes. In a minute, Billy, he whispers back. Billy has a lot to say, though. Can I go to the parade with you later? No. Daddy has a date. Aw, we haven't done anything fun together, Billy yells back at his father, as his father drives the shovel into the body in the grave, like aggressive driving of the shovel. Like as he's talking to his kid, which is crazy.
Is this like coming off like a bit of comedy, you know?
This movie is listed as a horror comedy.
Okay,
so,
okay.
Yes, it is kind of, everything is kind of funny.
So funny.
Yeah. It is very silly.
Yeah.
Stephen tells Billy that they'll make some caramel apples after they carve the jack-o'-lantern. How about that? Okay, Billy yells back before finally retreating back into the house. Now Mr. Wilkins can shut up this kid once and for all.
Mm-hmm.
He raises the shovel up once more. And don't forget to help me with the eyes, Billy screams again from the window. Okay, now he actually leaves and Mr. Wilkins brings down the shovel hard and the screen goes black.
Okay.
We open back up on the grave, finally filled in, a tree planted in the middle and a little gnome sitting next to it.
Oh, cute.
I know, it's like a little redhead gnome. And Mr. Wilkins stands over the trees, watering it. Daddy, I want to carve a pumpkin, he mutters mockingly to himself. Daddy, I want to go to the parade. Daddy,
oh my God.
I wish Mommy was still alive.
Oh.
Oh
my God.
He's a monster, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. He throws the watering can to the side and makes his way over to the back door. As he ascends the steps, he can hear some muffled cries and someone calling his name. Wilkins! Wilkins! He looks over to his neighbor's house, and at the window, he can see Mr. Krieg banging on the window from the inside of his house, calling his name and asking for help.
Oh.
Mr. Wilkins just stares back at him with a soft, screw you, before heading back into his own home.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
What the hell?
As soon as Mr. Wilkins enters the house, we see a figure tackle Mr. Krieg within his own home before quickly cutting away.
Oh my God, we have to, we're gonna, what? Okay. I'm just trying to figure out the format of this movie and like if we're gonna see how we're gonna see what happened there, if we're gonna see it, you know?
Right. Inside his own home, Stephen looks around calling for Billy. Billy doesn't respond. So Stephen looks around, confused, before his eyes land upon a crisp, clean knife on the counter.
Mm-hmm.
His attention is quickly diverted, though, when Billy jumps up behind the counter wearing a mask and jumps scaring his dad. Billy gets him pretty good, too. Stephen jumps back against the wall in fear, and Billy hits him with a little giggle and a, I gotcha. Mr. Wilkins kind of stares at him, still recovering from the scare. And Billy comes around the counter up to his dad and asks, so can we carve it now? His dad replies in the most uncomfortable possible, he's like, yeah, let's go downstairs. And I'm like, ew, like, why'd you say it like that? Like, what was that?
Like, you're supposed to be switching on your dad personality now. Like, where is it?
It's gone.
Yeah.
Billy grabs his dad's hand, and with his other hand, Mr. Wilkins grabs the knife off the counter and hides it behind his back.
I was thinking, like, there's no way he's going to kill his own son, because, like, that's just stupid. Like, if you want to get away with all this.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's already stupid what it seems like you're doing as far as, like, a clean getaway. But you can't do that. Like, you're going to get caught. He has to know this, but he's not thinking about that.
He doesn't seem like, well, I don't know. He doesn't seem like the brightest, but at the same time, I don't know how long he's been doing this.
Right, yeah.
So the two of them head down into the basement to finally carve the jack-o'-lantern.
Mm-hmm.
Once downstairs, Billy runs over to a counter where we can see like a green bowl, likely where the pumpkin guts are set to go. And Mr. Wilkins turns on a very dim light and slowly makes his way over to the table his son is stood at. The knife is hidden still behind his back. As he gets closer to Billy, behind his back, he brings the knife out and kind of like spins it in one hand while holding the tip of the blade to the index finger of the other. You know, like he's like
Ooh.
spinning it on his finger.
Weird.
Yeah. He slowly creeps up behind Billy, the knife in his right hand, and he places his left hand on the top of Billy's head. Poor little Billy smiles and looks up at his father, saying, "Let's carve a scary face this time."
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he will. Oh, no.
Yeah. "A scary face it is," replies his father, as he holds the knife above his son's head. Mr. Wilkins takes a deep breath before bringing the knife down hard. We linger on his face as he lets out a sigh of relief. He pulls the knife out, and we get a shot of him as he leans down over his son, who is very much alive. He moves the now blood-covered knife into his son's hands. "Wrap it around," he says. "Don't forget to help me with the eyes," Billy says to his dad with a smile. We cut to Charlie's severed head on the table.
What just happened? His son is helping him.
Mm-hmm. You've never stared at me in silence for so long.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait.
This one got me. I did not see this one coming.
Well, because he literally, I'm trying to think back on the dialogue, like Billy was like, "I want to carve the pumpkin." Like he was specifically saying the pumpkin, which obviously he didn't mean the pumpkin.
And like, honestly, don't forget to help me with the eyes. Like, ew.
Disgusting.
You gotta like scoop them out.
But you know what? It's also weird because he was like annoyed with his kid. He's like I got the vibe that he was just annoyed because he was like, "Let me just live my serial killer life. Like, please get off my back." But his kid is helping him. So it's like, you're really annoyed with your little helper? Like, he's your little helper. Like, be nicer. But
yeah, no, I think the two ways you can look at that is either one, suspension of belief just so that they could set you up better.
Right.
Or two, like, he wants his son to be like him, but like he's still annoyed by him, I guess. But yeah, no, like that's your little helper. It's your little Billy. Billy's actually a really cute kid too. So I was kind of upset when they revealed that. But yeah, the Charlie's head is just like sitting on a little turntable, Lazy Susan type thing, and like Mr. Wilkins like just twirls it around with his finger, and then like just like look at the severed head spinning around. Dun dun dun. It's a big scary reveal. I do enjoy that.
Wow. I was like ready for the twist, like right up until you literally spelled it out, like said it is Charlie's head. Before you said that, I thought like it was gonna be like he has a zombie son that can't die. Like I thought that's why he was like still alive. That's so crazy. Okay.
Yeah. So a finger rings a doorbell, and we now exist with that same group of 3 kids that we met before. The ones dressed as an angel, a pirate, and their third one is an alien.
Okay.
They are ringing the doorbell of a home, still trick-or-treating, and a middle-aged woman opens the door of this new place, and she's dressed as a black cat, crop top style, and she is a character.
Oh.
She opens the door with an immediate cackle and a, "Aren't you guys adorable?" She's definitely a bit drunk.
Okay.
The kids are really weirded out by her. And then the angel girl goes, "That's a great costume, Mrs. Henderson." And then Mrs. Henderson goes, "I know, isn't it just?" And then she turns around and wags her tail at the kids. Perfect.
Oh, you can not. Yeah.
Again, yes, they look very uncomfortable. And then she goes, "You want a drink or something? It'll be our little secret."
Oh, okay, we're leaving. Now it's just time to leave. We don't need candy.
No, I know. The alien child pipes up with a "sure" before being elbowed by the angel child. Like,
oh, that's funny.
Shut up.
The angel's the one that's like, behave.
Stop it. They all agree that, you know what, never mind. We don't need anything. And Mrs. Henderson's face falls and she's like, "Oh, fine, I'll see what I have for you guys." And while she's going to grab the candy, the kids like peer into the home. And there's something strange going on in there. We hear some moaning as costume figures seem to maybe be grinding up on one another.
Oh.
The angel is unamused, though the pirate's kind of leaning in for a closer look. And Mrs. Henderson drops something into their bags before slamming the door in their faces with a "Be safe and watch out for monsters." So the trio's now walking down the street, and the alien, her name is Sarah. I don't learn these till way later, which is why I struggled with these. And she goes, I don't even know what that was. The pirate, whose name is Chip, is happy to fill us in. Coach Taylor was in a hot dog costume, but fucking a pig. And then the angel, Macy, she interrupts Chip and it is like, let's not go over what we just saw.
Let's pretend that never happened.
Let's forget about that. A masked figure runs down the street toward them with a shopping cart containing 3 jack-o'-lanterns. That's it? Macy asks. The kid pulls off his mask saying, sorry, but some asshole went up and down the street smashing all of them. But we have 3. Yeah. Isn't that enough? Almost, says the angel in a tone that shows she means business. We come upon a house now whose front yard is absolutely decked out in jack-o'-lanterns. The masked boy, Schrader, is like, why didn't we just start here? The front door of the home opens and a young girl dressed as a witch comes out. Chip the pirate asks a little louder than he probably should, is that Rhonda the retard? She's not a retard, she's an idiot savant, Macy, the angel replies. Rhonda begins to make her way down to the sidewalk while Macy, Sarah, and Chip walk away, leaving their masked friend Schrader at the gate. Rhonda walks over to him, and he's actually really sweet to her. Did you carve all these yourself? Yeah, Rhonda replies. Made my costume, too. Like it? I do, the boy replies, and then finally introduces himself, yes, as Schrader. Rhonda pushes her glasses back onto her face with a grin while introducing herself, and she seems like a little bit like smitten, like this boy. She kind of has a little bit of a crush on him. But we are now going to cut back to the town center, where the party is still going hard. Down an alleyway, away from other people, 2 masked figures, a man and a woman, are making out. The girl takes off her masquerade mask, and when she goes to take off the man's, he grabs her wrists and pins them against the wall above her head before kissing her again. He starts kissing her up and down her body before ultimately landing on her neck and then licking her face. The girl, yeah, sure, that's fine.
I have makeup on.
I have makeup on.
You don't want to do that.
Yuck. The girl stops as she realizes that blood is now dripping down her body. Like a lot of it. Down her arms and her front. The man backs away from her, blood dripping from his mouth, his eyes wide behind the mask. The girl examines herself in fear before looking back to the man who smiles at her, flashing his fangs. She screams and starts to run away. She runs through a few different alleyways before actually making it back to the town center and collapsing to the ground. She reaches for the closest person asking for help. She stands up and is met with Emma and Henry. Emma looks at the blood-soaked girl with some concern, but Henry assures her that she's just drunk, and he drags Emma away, leaving the girl behind.
Oh my God, that's wild. Even for Halloween, that's crazy.
Yeah, I think it is tough because I do think they do kind of like cover the grounds here in terms of like, because like then this girl like looks around and sees like all these people covered in blood and like realizes like that her being covered in blood is not going to stand out to anybody right now, and like everybody's kind of drunk, and so she just looks like another drunk person at the party.
Sure.
But then she pauses and she senses something. She slowly turns around to see the vampire standing right behind her.
Which I'm still sitting here like, is that legit a vampire? Like, are we going supernatural all of a sudden?
Fair.
Okay.
It's a fair question to ask. She screams as the vampire does like a big motion with his cloak that they use as a transition like into the next shot. Where the girl is now sitting motionless, covered in blood up against a building on the main strip. And her eyes are like wide open. So the vampire uses 2 fingers to close her eyes and leaves her there on the sidewalk looking like a drunk girl dressed up for Halloween. He wanders back into the crowded street, but let's go back to the jack-o'-lantern obsessed group of kids.
Okay.
They're walking down streets through fields. They've got somewhere to be. The angel, Macy, leads the way while Rhonda and Chip take the rear. Chip looks Rhonda up and down, observing her witch costume before saying, "You must really like Halloween." "You mean Samhain?" she asks. Of course, this kid looks at her confused, like, "Girl, what are you talking about?" But she's happy to explain. Samhain, also known as All Hallows Eve, also known as Halloween, predating Christianity, the Celtic holiday, was celebrated on the one night between autumn and winter, when the barrier between the living and dead was thinnest, and often involved rituals that included human sacrifice. She's like excited to share this, and he's just looking at her like, what the fuck? So Rhonda can tell that he's like not into it. So she just like her face falls and she looks at him and is like, I like your eye patch. And that's the end of that.
Okay.
The kids, led by Macy, have made it to their final destination, a rock quarry. Schrader is like, wow, cool. What a fun place to be on Halloween. Awesome, Macy. And it's clear she was the only one who really knew what they were up to tonight. The rest of them were just kind of following. Why are we here? Chip asks.
Gonna throw pumpkins off the edge?
That could be fun.
Okay. That's what I would think.
To pay our respects to the dead, Macy replies. Sarah takes off her giant alien mask to ask, wait, is this where that school? Macy interrupts her with a, shut up, Sarah. She's really serious right now. Chip mutters to himself, the Halloween school bus massacre.
Ooh.
Schrader asks what that is, and Sarah begins to fill him in. But Macy's like, Jesus, will you shut up and let me tell the damn story? Like, she's been looking forward to this. She wants to be the one to tell them what's up.
Mood.
Yeah, right? No, I hate when you're like trying to tell a story and someone butts it and you're like, no!
Yes.
My story!
Yep.
So she's going to do it. She's going to tell us the story of the Halloween school bus massacre.
Perfect.
Here we go. It happened 30 years ago on a late Halloween afternoon. We're going to fade back those 30 years now to see the story that Macy's telling us. A school bus drives down a beautiful autumnal street. She says a school bus was on its usual route, but this wasn't your typical school bus, and they weren't your typical kids. There were 8 of them, and they were different, troubled, disturbed. Every day, parents put their dirty secrets on this bus to be driven to a school miles outside of town. Taking a look at these kids, they do appear to be different, at least in the fact that they're all dressed up in Halloween costumes, all with their faces concealed. We have a devil, a vampire, a clown, a baby face, a bag over a head, a skeleton, a bunny. The vampire kid is counting to himself by 2s. 3260, 3262, 3264. But that day, the driver took a different route, Macy narrates. As the bus takes a right turn, the vampire kid now begins saying, wrong way, wrong way, wrong way, over and over and over. Yeah. The bus passes by one of the fields that we just saw our group of kids walking through. And once it goes by, we can see little Sam is standing on the side of the road. A bat speared on the end of a stick that he's just kind of playing with.
Oh, okay.
Because why not? That day, the bus driver took the kids to this here rock quarry. But what the kids didn't know was that over the years, their parents had become exhausted, embarrassed, and they were willing to do anything to ease their burden. The bus pulls up right to the very edge of the cliff into the rock quarry before the bus driver gets up out of his seat and starts walking down the aisle of the bus. He holds a small cardboard box full of candy, and he hands one piece to each masked child. And by the way, we can now see that these kids are literally chained to their seats on the bus.
Oh.
Like actual chains around their wrist, chains to the seat.
And they're just chill though.
Yeah, they're chilling. So one day, the parents approached the bus driver and made him an offer. With the money they collected together, they asked him to do the unthinkable. The vampire kid really begins to panic as he continues to say, wrong way, home, home. He pulls at his restraints and manages to break both of his hands free while the bus driver continues to hand out candy to the kids at the back of the bus.
Okay.
Suddenly, the engine revs and the bus driver turns to see the vampire kid at the wheel. He tries to rush back to the front of the bus, but one of the other kids trips him on his way down the aisle.
Nice.
The vampire kid slams his foot down on the gas, and the bus goes plummeting off the cliff and into the water in the rock quarry below.
Okay, so I was hoping we knew how to reverse, but
we did not.
We did not.
So he just floored it. Yeah. From our flashback POV, though, we see a hand emerge from the water as the bus driver pulls himself up on top of the rocks at the water's edge. We pan up the cliffside and transition during this pan from the flashback to present day, landing upon the current kids on this Halloween night standing at the top of the cliff. As for the bus, some say it sank so deep that it couldn't be found. Others say the town just didn't want it to be found. For all we know, it's still down there. And so are those kids. You're so full of shit, Sarah says to Macy. Well, then I guess you don't mind being first, she replies. First at what? Sarah asks. Macy explains that they brought these 8 jack-o'-lanterns here to honor the 8 different victims. They're all going to go down into the quarry and leave the jack-o'-lanterns by the side of the lake as an offering to those who died.
Oh, okay. As an offering. I thought this was going to go to like, we're going to chuck them off just like they did all those years ago. And I was like,
we're going to reenact it.
Yeah. Okay, that's nice.
That's lovely. So as it turns out, we're going to have to take a rickety old industrial elevator of sorts down into the quarry.
Oh.
They somehow have a key. I don't know how they got it, but they call the elevator up. And while they wait for it to make its way to them, Schrader compliments Rhonda's pumpkin, saying that it's very pretty. Macy looks between the two of them with some emotion between jealousy, anger, annoyance, something. She doesn't like that Schrader's being nice to Rhonda. The elevator arrives and Macy gets on with Schrader and Sarah before shutting the door on Rhonda and Chip. It can only hold 3, she says. She dangles the keys at them, saying she'll send them right back up once they've made it to the bottom. The trio descends down into the quarry as we fade back to check in with Lori. So Lori is still walking around the town by herself looking for a single man to try her luck with.
No, she should just go home. Like, you
I
don't need to do this.
No, and it's like crazy because she's like looking around and like she sees like couples making out, and then she'll like see a guy who she thinks is alone, but then a girl comes up.
Right.
She sees what looks like a guy from behind, but then this person turns around and it's a woman, and she's like, I'm disappointed. So she eventually just takes a seat on a bench, and she gets a call on her cell from her sister Danielle. Just as she picks up, she meets the gaze of the vampire man from earlier, staring at her from across the crowd.
Oh no.
He breaks the stare and mysteriously wanders away while Danielle explains that she found a guy at the party for Lori. Lori's like, is he young? Cute? On Danielle's end of the line, we pan over to a grown man sitting on the ground dressed up as an adult baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
He's really nice, Danielle replies. Lori sees through it and she's like, so he's hideous? Just get your ass over here. Beggars can't be choosers, Danielle says before hanging up the phone.
That's so rude. She's like, oh my God, I found someone for you. Like, you're such a baby. I found a baby for you. Like, that's absolutely what she's getting at there.
Yeah, that's like kind of wild.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of it that way. Ew. Hate it. We hear some howling as we cut back to Chip and Rhonda, waiting for the elevator to come back up. Werewolves, Rhonda whispers excitedly. Chip is less amused. Very funny, he says, as the elevator arrives. They jump on and make their way down to the others. While they're on their way into the very foggy quarry, they can hear the voices of their friends, I'll put that in quotes, and they see the glow of their jack-o'-lanterns from a distance. That bus is around here somewhere. I think it's over here. Over where? I can't see shit in this fog. I think there's something moving by that rock. Oh God, what is that? A scream rings out from the quarry alongside some things you probably don't want to hear from your friends while descending an elevator into a dark rock quarry.
Right.
Run! Where's Sarah? Alongside more screaming and panic. That's what we hear from the quarry. And from Rhonda and Chip's point of view, the glow of the jack-o'-lanterns go out as the voices disappear. The elevator stops at the bottom of the quarry in complete silence before Chip calls out for Macy, Sarah, or Schrader, none of whom reply. Rhonda's a brave gal, though. She opens the gate of the elevator and begins to walk into the fog. It's clear Chip is not interested in coming, so she tells him just stay put and don't let the light go out on the jack-o'-lantern because it will protect him. Rhonda slowly creeps through the quarry looking for the other 3 kids. It's spooky, it's atmospheric, and honestly, cozy Halloween coded. Rhonda continues to wander before coming upon a decaying bus, half immersed in the water. Looking into the lake just below her feet, she sees 2 of her friends, again, quotes, masks, and Macy's angel wings floating on the surface covered in blood. Rhonda doesn't panic. She so slowly reaches for Schrader's mask at the shoreline when her ankle is grabbed by something and she falls to the ground with a scream. Looking up, she sees what grabbed her. Some sort of human-like creature? The head is giving alien sea monster covered in swamp goo.
Oh.
Rhonda gets up, sprinting away and screaming. She's running when she comes across Chip, dead on the ground, one of the creatures pulling intestines from his stomach and gnawing on them.
Oh my God.
The creature sees her approach and tries to go after her, so Rhonda breaks off into another sprint. It's not long, though, before she, in classic Vilma fashion, trips, her glasses flying off her face, somewhere on the ground in front of her. But of course, she can't see, so she's just like feeling around on the ground, hoping to find them.
Yep.
But she's not going to find them. She can't wait around, so she just takes off running, blind, not being able to see.
Mm-hmm.
Behind her, the creatures close in, one of them stepping right on her glasses. And Rhonda ends up running straight for a dead end where the creatures corner her. She stands with her back to the corner while she watches as 3 creatures slowly make their way toward her, growling. What poor Rhonda does not realize is that she's backed against a ledge about 2 feet off the ground above some water and rocks. She takes another step back, falling backward onto her back into the water. The creatures halt and everything goes still. A shot from directly above Rhonda turns and pulls out, showing us that she is unmoving, either passed out or dead. The 3 creatures lean over Rhonda, staring at her before one of them goes, "Oh shit."
What?
Another asks, "Is she dead?" As Rhonda opens her eyes, terrified to see these 3 creatures standing over her, so she naturally screams and whacks one of them across the face.
Yeah.
The monster falls back while Rhonda makes her escape, crawling away. One of the creatures calls after her a couple times, and she finally stops, seeming to recognize the voice.
Oh my God.
She turns around to see, very blurrily, the 3 creatures and Chip standing behind her. Now, of course, the 3 creatures remove their masks, revealing Macy, Sarah, and Schrader.
Mm-hmm.
Macy looks so annoyed, saying, "It was all going so well," while poor Rhonda sits sobbing on the ground. Schrader, who I trusted, tries to calm Rhonda down, telling her it was just a trick. It was a bad joke. "I'd say it was a pretty good one," says Macy. Schrader tells her to shut up and that they need to leave. Macy's all pissed about this, but Schrader's like, "What else do you want?" She's scared out of her mind. Chip, Sarah, and Macy all make their way back to the elevator while Schrader continues to try and soothe Rhonda. He was in on it, but at least he's trying to help her at this point.
Yeah.
"Hey, this one's still lit," says Chip, coming across one of the jack-o'-lanterns on the shore. Without a word, Macy just comes by, kicks it into the water before continuing on her way.
Yeah.
Chip has a question, though. A valid one. If this was all a trick, how'd the school bus get down here? "That part's true," Macy says. Some laughs and whispers drift toward them through the wind. "What?" Macy asks. "I didn't say anything," responds Chip. They realize that the disembodied voices are coming from the bus just behind them in the lake. We cut back to Schrader and Rhonda as a scream rings out in the night. Rhonda immediately sits up in fear, but Schrader's like, "Nah, they're just trying to trick us."
Of course.
They listen some more to the screams, and Schrader's annoyance fades to concern, and he tells Rhonda to wait here as he gets up to investigate. He runs towards the sound of the scream before running into the group, who is in full panic mode. Macy included this time. "We have to get out of here," she pleads. There's other people down here." The whispers and giggles fade in again, a little louder this time. The group freezes and turns back to look at the direction they came from. Emerging from the fog are 8 different figures, all dressed in decaying Halloween costumes: a vampire, a bunny, a clown, etc. The kids scream and take off running as the zombie kids saunter behind. Suddenly, a chain, somehow, manages to grab at Sarah, who falls to the ground and is pulled back into the fog. The other kids keep running. They run straight back to the elevator, where Rhonda is already waiting inside with her lit jack-o'-lantern. Maisie, Schrader, and Chip all scream for her to open the door to let them in. Rhonda puts down her jack-o'-lantern and grabs the key as the zombie children get closer. She reaches her hand toward the lock, key in hand, but at the last moment reaches for the up button instead. She begins to ascend in the elevator while Macy, Chip, and Schrader scream at her that this isn't a trick. Come back, help us." Rhonda shows no emotion, but she does give them a little wave as the elevator rises back up.
Oh my God.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't blame her.
No, I would probably be like, "Fuck you guys." Again, again. Yeah. Oh no.
Exactly. So she's rising back up, and the monsters descend upon the other 3 kids. Rhonda gets off the elevator at the top and begins to walk away, but below we can hear screams accompanied by sounds of ripping flesh, groans, breaking bones. Just, the most pleasant of sounds. And on her way out of the quarry, Rhonda passes Sam, who seems just to be out for a stroll in the area.
As you do, yes.
And they kind of give each other a little nod and go on their ways.
Oh my God. Wait, so that was like legit zombies. This is
Yeah.
like, it does go full out supernatural. I mean, so yeah, that's a legit vampire, legit zombies. That's really fun. It's like such an ode to like the spirit of Halloween, like having a mix of like the supernatural monsters with like just classic slasher spookies.
No, it's so fun. It's so fun.
And then Sam is just there.
And then there's Sam. He's just he's just a little guy.
Yeah.
So let's go see what's up with Lori. She is walking through the woods and she comes upon a path lined with lit jack-o'-lanterns and decides, yeah, I'm gonna wander down this way. Suddenly she hears a branch snap along with some footsteps. She whips around and saying, I'm really not in the mood, so just come on out. She waits a beat or two, and when no one reveals themselves, she turns to continue on her way, but she is now face to face with the vampire. She lets out a scream as we cut to the party her friends are at. It's a bonfire party in the woods. Honestly, kind of giving that one scene in the video game Night in the Woods, if you know. Like, it's that kind of party.
Cute.
And Danielle stands against a tree looking out into the woods when Janet comes over offering her a beer, but she declines it. Janet kind of rolls her eyes and says, she's a big girl. She can take care of herself. Danielle's clearly worried, like at least to an extent, worried about her younger sister, who has not yet arrived to the party. I wish that were true, she says. Mom always said she was the runt of the litter. Janet, it's so funny. Janet actually has a funny moment here because she just like mouths like a ginormous what as we cut back to Lori. Like, I just like, oh, what the fuck did you just say?
That's perfect.
So we cut back to Lori, who's being slammed into a tree by the vampire at the moment. And he's licking her face as he goes, my, what big eyes you have.
Of course.
Yeah, she's dressed as Little Red Riding Hood. He like snarls and then bites her neck as we once again cut back to the sister as Lori screams. Now another random girl at the party screams and points up toward the trees as a body, one dressed as Little Red Riding Hood, falls from the sky and onto the ground, unmoving.
Oh my God. The hell?
Which, like,
where did that even, what are the physics there?
I don't know. I wish I knew. I wish I understood.
Okay.
So everyone turns to look at the lifeless body, and Danielle can tell immediately that it's Lori from the costume, and she runs straight over to her. She leans over her body, and we can now see that her cloak is ripped to pieces. Danielle pulls the hood back with a gasp. It's the vampire wrapped in Lori's Little Red Riding Hood cloak.
Oh, it keeps doing this. It keeps doing this, and I'm like taken off guard every time.
I was too. Like, I don't know what this movie, like how this movie set up its twists, but like I never was ready for them.
Yeah.
They like actually are very well done.
Yeah.
So he whispers, please help me, to Danielle and the other girls.
Oh my God.
They all stare down at him as footsteps approach from behind. The girls turn to look as someone approaches. It's Lori, striding confidently into the group, gathered around the man's body. Her neck and front are covered in blood. Danielle asks Lori what's going on, followed with, you're late. Sorry, it took longer than I thought, Lori replies. Danielle looks at the blood on Lori's body and asks what he did to her. She says that she took Janet and Maria's advice. She played hard to get, and he bit her. Janet and Maria are like kind of amused by this, and Janet's like, well, at least you made it. You want a drink? Danielle pulls Lori away to talk while Maria now approaches this man on the ground. Say she says. The masked man shakes his head and refuses, so Maria just forces his mouth open, and out she pulls his fake fangs. And she's quite impressed by them, actually. She pulls off the man's mask and asks for his name. We finally get a shot of the man's face as he replies, Stephen Wilkins.
Oh, right. That can happen because of how we're telling the story.
Right. It's all over the place.
Oh my God. Okay. Question mark.
Maria kind of plays with his hair a little bit, saying, I'm glad you're her first. Stephen looks back to her with a, who are you people? Maria just laughs as she walks away, and Stephen is able to get a better look around the area without anyone, crowding him. On the ground are the bodies of multiple other men, all of whom seem to be bloodied and dead. Marilyn Manson's version of Sweet Dreams begins to play as Laurie tells her sister that she's nervous. Just be yourself, Danielle replies. Laurie heads back over to Steven and straddles his body suggestively, and she leans down to his face, saying, "It's my first time, so just bear with me." The girls all begin dancing suggestively around the camp. Their bodies and faces begin to change. Their eyes begin to glow. Large teeth grow in. They snarl. They rip off their clothes. But no, not just their clothes. Their skin, too. They rip it off their bodies like gloves to reveal the wet, matted fur underneath. Full-blown werewolves wander the camp, biting into the bodies of the men on the ground. Mid-transformation, Laurie looks over Steven and says, My, what big eyes you have."
That's fun.
It is fun. She arches backward while still on top of him and snarls before throwing herself forward back onto him and going to town. The werewolves howl and gnash on the bodies while Sam sits watching on a nearby log.
Yeah.
We zoom into Sam as his head fades instead into the full moon as we transition out of the werewolf section.
Okay. Is it bad that I feel a little bit better about how they were treating Laurie now?
Oh, no, not at all. No, that's perfectly okay now.
Okay. Yeah, because obviously you're set up to think that they're just like, you need a man. You need to lose your virginity. You need to do this. And it's not that. It's just a bit of murder, as werewolves do. Like, it's just in their nature, you know?
Exactly. She just needed to kill her first. And,
but what I'm confused about is obviously he survives, right? Or am I getting like this timeline mixed up?
We'll talk about the timeline.
Okay.
Because it is it's confusing. So we get another little comic strip lower third here, reading earlier again.
Right.
3 kids stand in front of a pretty decrepit home. It's covered in vines and brush, but there are still lights on inside. The 3 kids, dressed in their costumes, make their way to the front door. One of the kids knocks on the door, and after a few seconds, the door slowly opens with a breeze emerging from the pitch black doorway.
Nope.
The kid, right? No, thank you. The kids all look terrified as one of them lets out a small trick or treat. 2 greenish-yellow glowing eyes appear in the dark, accompanied by a growl, which sends the kids screaming and running from this creature. It follows them to the gate where the kids make it out in time. Looking back on the doorway, Mr. Krieg is slowly making his way outside. He proudly looks down at his dog, who's wearing a headpiece with 2 yellow glowing orbs on it, looking like eyes in the dark.
Oh my gosh.
He picks up his pup and heads back inside, carrying one of the kids' candy bags that they left while they were running away.
I'm excited we're back to him, though, because like obviously where we left him, I was like, okay, well, I want to know what's happening there.
Right.
Okay.
Yes, we were back with Mr. Krieg. So Mr. Krieg wanders over to a cardboard box filled with black and white photos next to the lit up fireplace. He pulls out a few photos, looks at them, and then throws them into the fire. He then takes a seat on the couch and looks through the bag of candy, pulling out a large chocolate bar, which he unwraps and takes a big bite out of. Gets a funny look on his face and then puts the candy bar down. Guess he didn't like it. Either that or it's one of Steven's.
Right.
One or the other, he could tell. He's like, don't want that. So he puts it down and then washes down that taste with some liquor straight from the bottle.
Nice.
He flips through some channels on the TV, first landing on the news report that we heard earlier, like word for word, the same report about the Halloween festivities in town. He flips it again to see House on Haunted Hill, which was awesome because, like, I wouldn't have recognized this a few months ago, but it's like the scene of like the hanging and then the hand coming from the doorway. It's like that moment in the film, and I was like, "Oh my god, I've seen that." Oh my
god, no, that's amazing.
And then he flips it again to what I believe, I could be wrong, but what I believe is the werewolf episode of Scooby-Doo.
Oh,
like I think that's what it is.
That's a big one, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. But like you don't see any of the Scooby characters, but it's like that style of cartoon, and I think it's that. And then he flips it again to a documentary about Halloween, and he's just like really uninterested in the holiday. So he ends up back on the channel he started with, some cooking show. And then Mr. Krieg, he hears a sound outside as his dog begins to growl. So he just turns off the TV and goes to have a look out the window. He can see that the gate is swinging shut before an egg, I think, hits the window and we can hear a kid run away laughing.
Oh my God, that's so annoying. Like egging people's homes, TPing people's homes. Like, oh
Mm-hmm.
my God, I would be so tired. Like, please
Yeah,
don't do that. Like, why?
like that's just like the most inconvenient, annoying, pointless
Yes.
act. Like, just come on. Like, do not waste my
Yeah.
time.
Just like scream like you suck at me instead or something. Like,
Right?
please.
Although I am sensitive, so maybe don't. But
Right.
Mr. Krieg decides to grab a bat from the closet, which is kind of wild.
Hmm.
But then he hears Spite barking outside in the backyard, so he
Mm-hmm.
goes to have a look. So what plays out here is that same scene from earlier
Cool.
between Mr. Krieg and Stephen Wilkins. This time from Mr. Krieg's POV, but we don't learn anything new, so we're just gonna skip over it. It's the exact
Yeah.
same scene from before. So once Mr. Krieg makes his way back inside the house, Spite starts barking like crazy again. This time at the front door. Mr.
Mm.
Krieg has had enough of this, so he runs straight for the front door and whips it open, screaming, "Get the hell out of my..." But stops when he sees that his front yard is suddenly covered in jack-o'-lanterns that he certainly did not put out there.
Ooh, oh my God. Wait, no, this is such a what would you do? But wait.
Oh my god. I see it's tough because I love Halloween, right? So it's like I'd be
Right.
like, that's awesome. But if I'm
Yeah.
him, I mean, I'm thinking it's some damn kids, right?
I would call my mom. I would literally call my mom and be like, come pick me up. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
what ritual is being set up around my house right now,
Right?
but I'm scared.
I think it would be kind of scary. I would lock the doors and just call it a day.
Oh my
'Cause I
God.
don't know. I don't think I would like do anything crazy.
I would get out of there.
That's smart. But I would definitely just be like, damn kids.
That would be such a nice prank. If it just ended up being kids, like, what a lovely
Right?
prank.
What
Yeah.
a great prank. So he like lifts up his bat to go and smash a pumpkin,
Mm-hmm.
but then Spite starts barking again. So he heads back inside where he now hears some giggling.
Oh.
Now he goes and grabs the shotgun from above the fireplace. Kind of wild considering he thinks this is probably kids, but you
Yeah.
know, at the same time, you never know. So Mr. Krieg makes his way up the stairs where he heard the giggling coming from, and when he reaches the top of the first flight, he looks up to the next flight as he goes to flip the switch. The light at the top of the stairs blows out as a small figure runs by.
It's our little guy.
A little guy? Is it a little guy? So, okay, your little guy status is about to
Oh.
exit. From upstairs, we hear a yelp and then a whimper from Spite.
Oh, no, not the dog.
Yeah, the dog.
Oh my God, is this your first time with a dog dies movie that you've told me? I'm usually always the one doing it to you.
That's so true. I don't know.
It might
I
be.
feel like it might be the first one.
Mhm.
Sorry about that, everybody. R.I.P. Spite.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Krieg, actually, I forgot I wrote this. Mr.
Mhm.
Krieg cocks the gun just as Cassie would and tiptoes up the stairs.
Amazing.
He makes his way down the hall where he can hear sounds behind a closed door. He slowly pushes the door open to reveal his bedroom, which has been completely turned over. Looking at the bed, Mr. Krieg can see some movement under the covers of his bed. He whips the covers back to reveal a disembodied hand.
Oh.
It seems like it might be a robot hand, but it's just kind of
Oh.
like moving around in his bed. And then a jack-o'-lantern dramatically lights up, like straight up, like pretty much it's just a pumpkin on fire. And it just lights up in the corner of the room, which reveals messages written on the walls in blood.
Oh, cool. I mean, no,
Now-
it's scary, but love.
No, but it is cool.
Yeah.
And it looks like what is written over and over and over again, kind of sporadically in all directions, is just trick or treat, give me something good to eat, which that's like a
Oh.
rhyme that I totally forgot existed until I read it in this movie.
If you don't, I don't care.
I'll
something
pull
about
down
underwear. Yes.
Pull down your underwear, I think is what it was.
Yeah, but then I got in trouble for saying that version, and then there was a better version that was like nicer. I can't remember the other. I don't know. Oh my God. I forgot about
I don't know
this
if I
too.
heard that. Me too. I literally, as soon as I read Give Me Something Good to Eat, I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard that in so long. That's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's just like written all over the wall. And while Mr. Krieg stands staring at the walls around the room, a hand emerges from beneath the bed and cuts his ankles, sending him to the ground in pain.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
Hate
one of
that.
those ones that gets me every time. Like, I, like,
Yeah.
can't help but, like, grab at my ankle. I'm like,
Yes.
"No!" This also happened in, There's Someone in Your House, Inside Your House, or whatever the name of that movie was.
Mm,
And, yeah, I'll never get over it. I don't like it at
yeah.
all. While Mr. Krieg is writhing on the floor, he looks back toward the bed where a hand has risen up on the other side. The
Mm.
hand comes down on the bed like being used to pull up the being that it belongs to. And who but good old Sam appears on the other side of the bed. He creeps around, making his way closer to Mr. Krieg, who asks him, "Who the hell are you?" He's kind of funny, I'm not gonna lie. Sam just holds up a candy bar in response. Mr. Krieg looks confused, but then Sam pulls back the wrapper on the bar, revealing a razor blade within the chocolate. Mr. Krieg panics and reaches for his shotgun.
Uh-huh.
Without much thought, he turns, aims, and fires at Sam. The bullet goes through the jack-o'-lantern in the corner of the room, snuffing out the flame, but Sam is nowhere to be seen. Mr. Krieg, as quickly as he can, limps toward the stairs in an attempt to escape. When he gets to the staircase, he trips and falls all the way down.
Of course.
We can see that the stairs are now covered in candy, razor blades, and broken glass.
Oh. I don't know why I was so excited. Like, why would I think it would be just like a cute little thing? No, of course it isn't. Okay. Yikes.
Yeah. We're assuming that.
Oh my God. And then imagine. Oh my God. I'm going to give you the most horrifying visual because it just popped into my head and now you have to live it with me.
No.
So imagine you just have no feet and you're just like, your ankles your feet have been cut off, right? And then you're
girl, what the fuck?
And then you're walking on those stairs with just your open ankles.
Ew, what are you? Why did that come into your brain? Ew.
I'm sorry.
Ow, my freaking ankles hurt. Thank you for that.
I've never loved my ankles more.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. Oh yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah, those were likely put there by Sam in a very Home Alone trap-esque way. That was my line. Nobody cares about my line. Moving on. Mr. Krieg goes to.
Well, yes.
I wrote Mr. Krieg goes to life himself, but that's not a thing. He goes to lift himself. Yes. But but he manages to press his hands into broken glass, cutting them to shreds, but he's still going to do his best to escape here. He runs to the front door and tries to unlock the very many deadbolts that he has, but it's, pretty tough considering the shape of his hands. As he goes through the locks one by one. Oh, yeah, okay. I don't know why, I keep forgetting the movie and then I read it and I get excited.
Yeah.
So, he's facing the door, right? And so we're looking at him, looking at his face, and behind him we can see the staircase. And then we see, Sam peer upside down from the second floor, from above the stairs.
Ew.
And he's and it's blurry, so we don't really see it. We just see the blurry figure. Then oh my God, no, sorry. Sam then starts crawling across the ceiling.
Okay, I love that.
Yeah. Because you don't expect this at all.
Yeah.
So far he's just been walking around like a normal dude.
Yeah.
But he crawls across the ceiling above Mr. Krieg, and just before Mr. Krieg can undo that final lock, Sam giggles above his head before throwing himself on top of him and then just starts hitting him repeatedly.
Oh my God.
Mr. Krieg is fighting back, and he manages to throw Sam off his back and into a mirror, shattering it. Now, this is actually when Mr. Krieg makes his way to the window where he can see Mr. Wilkins entering his home. He's screaming for help, but Stephen, as we already know, ignores him. That's when Sam comes flying across the room, tackling Mr. Krieg, and the two of them are fighting on the floor as Mr. Krieg reaches for the burlap sack that up to this point has been Sam's head. Well, he rips it off, revealing Sam's actual head. His head is a pumpkin with an absolutely wild, scrunched up, squished up, scary, horrifyingly cartoon-like but realistic at the same time kind of face.
Oh.
He kind of looks like an alien pumpkin. He's got these big eyes, and his head is not quite orange. It's kind of like a faded, gross orange color.
Right.
Sam Like, he does this, like, crazy, like, right up in the camera, like, shakes his face, and it's, like, this really wild moment. You're like, holy shit, what is that? But then Sam, like, goes and he takes a big old bite out of Mr. Krieg's leg as Mr. Krieg reaches for the shotgun. But when Sam goes to look back at Mr. Krieg, he's instead met with the barrel of the shotgun, and Mr. Krieg fires the gun into Sam's face, sending Sam's entire body flying across the room like a rag doll and into the front door.
Okay.
Sam's body lays there, motionless, while Mr. Krieg exerts all of his effort getting up and reloading the gun. He leans down looking at Sam as he fires 2 more shots into his body, one to his chest and the other severing his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Which honestly, good for him. Like, people never do the, like, I mean, aside it being the trope, like, you gotta make sure they're
keep
dead.
going. Yeah.
Keep it going. So now that Sam's been taken care of, Mr. Krieg makes his way over to his old rotary phone and dials 911.
Mm-hmm.
He begins to tell the operator what's happening when we just see the phone line pulled out of the wall by some unseen force. Hello? Hello? Mr. Krieg screams into the receiver. When he turns around, Sam's body is still there, still unmoving. But suddenly, Mr. Krieg feels a stab in the top of his foot. And when he looks down, he sees Sam's disembodied hand with the razor blade candy bar stabbing him.
Oh my God.
Yeah. He screams and then kicks the hand across the room. The hand, on its back, I suppose, twitches a couple times before flipping itself back over and crawling away. You gotta be fucking kidding me, says Mr. Krieg, which, like, valid. And Mr. Krieg grabs his shotgun, but he realizes he's out of shells.
Of course.
So, screw that. The hand crawls on over to Sam's body and just, like, taps him a couple times with its index finger. And Sam sits up, looking around the room, and he glances down at his little disembodied hand friend and sticks out, like, his stubby arm on the ground.
Yeah.
The hand backs its little booty up into Sam's wrist and just, like, reattaches itself.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Mr. Krieg lets out an "oh no" and starts wheezing uncontrollably as he drags his very injured body across the floor.
Mm-hmm.
Sam puts his sack back on his head and pulls out that same orange lollipop that we saw him kill Emma with at the start of the film.
Mm-hmm.
But it doesn't have a bite out of it quite yet.
Oh.
Sam tiptoes on over to Mr. Krieg and goes ahead and takes that big bite out of the lollipop. Mr. Krieg is trying to find something to defend himself with, and he manages to, like he's grabbing at this table, he's knocking candy over, but he grabs a bottle, like a liquor bottle, and then smashes it on the ground and holds it out towards Sam.
Okay.
Sam's like, okay, whatever. Grabs Mr. Krieg's wrist, breaks it with a loud crack.
Oof.
He then raises the sharp lollipop above his head and swiftly brings it down onto the screaming Mr. Krieg. But Mr. Krieg stops screaming and opens his eyes. Now, apparently, when Mr. Krieg was reaching for the liquor bottle, remember, he knocked over some candy. Well, one of the candy bars landed on his chest, and that's what Sam managed to stab with the lollipop. The chocolate bar, not Mr. Krieg. Mr. Krieg stares at Sam in disbelief, while Sam just raises the candy bar to his mouth and takes a bite. Sam then turns and walks toward the door. It magically opens for him, and he walks outside.
What?
The door slamming shut behind him. I want to talk about this moment more in a minute because there's 2 ways to interpret this, but we'll get to it in a second.
Okay.
Mr. Krieg lays on the floor as we fade into the fireplace. We see one of the photos that he was burning. It's a photo of all the kids from the bus and their bus driver.
Oh my God, him.
Who we linger on for a suspiciously long period of time. The screen fades to black while a lower third saying "later now" appears on screen. We hear a knock at the door as 3 girls dressed as pigs stand on the doorstep. Mr. Krieg answers the door, wrapped in many bandages and a sling. He reaches into his sling, pulling out candy for the 3 girls. "Great mummy costume, Mr. Krieg," one of them says. Once the girls receive their candy, they skip off, and Mr. Krieg stares out into the Halloween night. Little Billy sits on the doorstep of his house, handing out candy. Across the street, he looks at his neighbor's extremely decorated front yard, while a girl dressed as a witch rolls a wagon holding a jack-o'-lantern across the street. She's nearly hit by a car driven by 4 girls. And just in front of his home stands Sam, staring back at him. They share a kind of longing stare that is interrupted by Emma and Henry arriving back at home the same way, yes, of course, that they had at the beginning of the film. Emma blows out the candle, and we see Sam now standing there staring at them. He glances down at the lollipop weapon and then back at the couple. He knows what he must do. Mr. Krieg heads back inside and shuts the door, but immediately after closing it, there comes a knock. Mr. Krieg stops, turns, and opens the door back up one last time. On his doorstep stands the 8 zombie children who have come back for their revenge. Trick or treat, says the vampire kid.
My God.
Before the screen cuts through black, and then some comic strip scenes flash on the screen over screaming in classic like Halloween zingers.
Yeah.
These comic strips depict the zombie children ripping Mr. Krieg to shreds.
Right.
And the final frame appears almost as a comic book cover. An image of the kids in a circle around Mr. Krieg ripping him apart, the title being Trick or Treat. The movie comes to a close. The end. Now.
Yes. Say all your things.
So, okay. So this is what I mean when I say, is this really an anthology film? Yes, but also they are very interconnected. And it still plays out like a movie. It's not like VHS where you're like, okay, here's film 1, here's film 2. Here's like, you know.
It's giving like, you know, those movies Valentine's Day and New Year's Day.
Yeah.
It's giving that where it's like a bunch of different stories. I don't think those are considered anthology films.
Right.
So I don't know why this one is, but it's very much that vibe, but horror Halloween.
Right. And the other thing with Mr. Krieg at the end. So I actually like, this was something I totally meant to look into and then forgot. Sam's whole thing is that he wants people to follow the traditions of Halloween.
Okay.
And so I don't know if he lets Mr. Krieg live. Like if the candy bar thing is like he was going to stab the candy bar intentionally. Like I don't think he
that wasn't a mistake.
Right. I think it's like he sets it up like he's going to kill him, but he's actually just stabbing the candy bar. And I think he's letting Mr. Krieg live either to let the kids get their revenge or because for some reason Mr. Krieg doesn't break the traditions, but I feel like he does. So I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, that's what I took from it. Like because the zombie kids show up right away, I feel like Sam knew that they would and were like, yeah, okay, you guys get to go give your revenge.
Exactly. And then the other thing is the timeline. I didn't even really pay attention to it the first time, but of course the second time, you know, I'm like really paying attention and I couldn't for the life of me figure out how everything works because everything with Mr. Krieg supposedly happens because that all happens before everything happens with Emma and Henry, but that also means that everything with Mr. Wilkins also happened before then. So is that like Emma and Henry is the last? No, it can't be the last thing because where are the girls going?
Wait, the girls are rolling up like they did at the beginning of the movie here at the end. Right?
Yeah. And then like the witch is Rhonda walking across the street with the pumpkin.
Yeah. Wait, so would it make sense for Wilkins to like do his whole thing with his son and then he goes out to be a vampire late at night? And
I think so.
Yeah, that's when he is the end of his story is being killed.
Yup.
I wish there was more Billy explanation. Like I want to know what happens to Billy.
Right. Because Billy, the end of it is like Billy just sitting there handing out candy at the end. And who knows? It's from the same bowl of as like the poison candy, but I don't know what happens there. I do know that like this movie was intended to have a sequel on 2 different occasions, but then it got canceled both times.
Why did I think there was a sequel? That's interesting.
I did too.
I want there to be one.
Yeah, I think this would be like a cute one to get. I mean, it could be terrible, but I think the director said that like, if anything, like he wants it to be either just as good or better than the first.
Yeah.
And, like, which I respect because in the horror world, that is just not the case.
You know what would be so cool for a sequel is if Sam and Billy team up.
That could be fun.
Like Sam just becomes his dad.
That in a way, that's actually, you know what, you're kind of right. There's a lot of different stories here that you can. The interesting thing is like, so this is part of why I didn't want to do survivability check-ins because like with the werewolf story, you think you're the girls,
Right.
But then who do they kill? Mr. Wilkins. But Mr. Wilkins kills Charlie. So it's like, it's kind of like this whole roundabout situation of
Yeah.
who kills who and who are you in this story.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, what gets you killed is breaking Halloween traditions.
Right.
Because that's Sam's thing and Sam's always there.
The thing is, I am always down to follow Halloween. I love Halloween. I am down to follow Halloween traditions, but there's probably Halloween traditions by Sam's standards that I don't realize need to be strict.
Right.
Like,
right.
And then all of a sudden I'm dead because I blew the candle out of my pumpkin too early.
Yes,
You know
I
what
did
I
not
mean?
know this was a thing. Because, like, I agree with you. Like, I would be down to follow traditions, but I'm also not going to leave the jack-o'-lantern lit all night because that's just
that's
not
dangerous.
safe. Yeah. So, like,
I guess I would die. Sam might be after me.
and like also you got to make sure you always stay on sidewalks, never go to a stranger's house, never go out alone.
I mean, I do all those things.
I go out alone. I go into strangers' houses.
What?
What?
Did you want to back up for a second?
Okay, to be fair, I don't go into strangers' houses, I guess. I go into houses of people I don't know if somebody brings me, so I guess it's not strangers. I don't go into strangers' houses. Let's bring us back.
Right. Well, we don't know. Like, how strict is that rule? Like, are you allowed to go to a random house party if you don't know the people? Does that break the rule?
That's a good question.
See, this is what I'm saying is I think I'd get caught up in the semantics of the rules and you'd be like, nope, not good enough, and I would die. Because, like,
Sam would be unamused.
He's strict.
He's really strict. All they did was blow out a pumpkin.
Yeah. I love that he gasped at that.
He really did. Like, he was like panting. He's like, I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God, little bro. No, this is a cute movie. I just don't know how to, I don't know. Would I survive
I'm just going to go with what should we be annoying and just give it a 31 for Halloween? Because, like, I don't know if we'll get the opportunity to do that with any other Halloween movies we cover in October, but it has to only obviously work if that feels like correct.
That does kind of feel correct because I think, like you said, we're going to get, caught up in the rules and all of that. But there's obviously a chance that we survive. Also, we're not bullies. We're not murderers. Yep. So in those cases, we're not werewolves. We're not murderers. But Emma and Henry were totally normal people. All they did was blow out a candle.
Exactly.
So more likely than not, I'm going to blow out the candle.
Me too.
Oh, no, I just broke my chapstick.
Oh, what? How?
Sorry.
Yeah, 31 I think is fine. Pretty close to like a third. And I think that just gives us a lot of room to make mistakes about the rules that he's very strict about.
Yeah.
But we might hit them because we are Halloween lovers. So
exactly. Hope you guys enjoy. Thanks so much for listening. Don't forget to check us out over on Instagram at I'd Survive Podcast. Over there, you can find all of our links, including a link to our Discord, where you can submit your own scores and let us know. Would you survive?